My name is Maryam, and today I'm so happy to present how using MapSwipe could help mobile home communities to tackle heat vulnerability. I'm a PhD student in geography and also working as research assistant in knowledge exchange for resilience group from Arizona State and a member of Youth Mappers as well. And today I have some of my peers here with myself, Natalia from Youth Mappers and Knowledge Exchange, Ad and Kay, and I'm happy to have them. And also we have a close corresponding with Kat every time about using MapSwipe on technical issues. And also, I want to thank Patricia Solis. She was not able to come today, but this project is under her supervision and her contribution, definitely. So about the organization's knowledge exchange, the main mission of our research group is to help Maricopa County in Arizona to improve their resilience in many aspects. That heat is the main focus. And about the youth mappers, it is not required to explain that, but this is a kind of a student network of volunteer mappers. And I start from this problem that for Arizona that I'm coming from, this is a heat trend that you could see in the last 10 years. And as you see in the last year, we experienced 425 heat deaths, which has a kind of 25% increase compared to the last year. But when it comes to heat death, mobile homes are one of the most vulnerable communities, and they are most at risk for heat vulnerability. For many, this is one of the most affordable housing options, and people select to settle in them, but they are not necessarily resistant to this heat because of kind of all the structure that they have, the poor insulation that they have sometimes. And staying inside these homes doesn't necessarily mean that people are cooling off easily in the heat. And they are people that are struggling with paying the utility bills or have no AC or have low control on AC and inside temperature at the end. So we could see based on these illustrations that only 5% of housing stock in Arizona is mobile home parks, but about 30 to 40% of heat death occurred inside these dwellings. But where is the gap? If we want to try to help them to improve their resilience, first of all, we need some kind of context-specific data and identify where they are. Because in many cases, they are not, they are kind of ignored in, for example, zoning documents or many data sources that are available. And there is a notable gap of complete and up-to-date data source for mobile home parks. So this is our methodology to approach this problem, to leverage MapSwipe. We all know that using crowdsourcing could help in identifying missing communities and vulnerable communities. But here, to have a kind of bird eye view on the mobile home locations, we use MapSwipe to fill the gap of mobile home inventories. We use MapSwipe, and Kat perfectly introduced that MapSwipe is part of Missing Maps project. And this illustration shows how we work. The circle is our research group, knowledge exchange. We are in between of two process. On the one side, we have a student, volunteers, and they swipe through the app, and the aggregated result of them for mapping come to us, then we validate it and go to humanitarian organizations. But before that, we have to kind of training them how to find and identify these communities amongst other land uses that it is in some cases tricky. So we provided tutorials for them, and then we were required to promote that we did it by use of MapSwipe, by use of Youth Mappers community, and then validated. And here are the tutorials that I prepared for MapSwipe, and as you could see, there are some clues to find mobile homes. There are normal packed communities. They are denser. From the above, you could see that they normally have white roofs, and other things that step by step we trained volunteers how to identify them. And then we promoted the project to the youth mappers through Mapathon and other sessions that the chapters had. And this community that includes 5,000 university students helped us in identifying the progress of the project. And this is interesting to see this graph. It shows just in 2 or 3 days, we reached from about 20% to almost 90% of the project progress, thanks to youth mappers' help. And this is one of the example of the result of each region. The dots that you see, each of them are one region. And this is for one of the regions that 100% complete with the help of 744 contributors. And that is the area that each of these squares has. So this is the timeline of the project. We started here from testing the project on kind of pilot and see whether it is effective to use for mobile home projects or not. We have close corresponding with a MapSwipe team, and then we team up to test the tutorial that I provided on the app, and we developed and then prioritized 13 regions, because in Arizona specifically, the nature of the state is such, there are a lot of desert and not populated areas that the volunteers, it just waste of time. So we prioritize the most populated areas that are 13 regions, and we started for first mission on August, and so far we have 7 out of 13 regions completed in 7.5 months. And our estimation is that we will complete all the missions till October 2024. So far, we've identified near 10,000 missing households living in mobile homes by MapSwipe. And this is really interesting result of that. But our method to have kind of more reliable and validated results was through triangulation amongst the data sources available and existing for mobile home. One of them is Homeland Infrastructure Foundation level data. The other one is Geospatial Research and Solution from Arizona State. And the last one is Northern Eastern with the help of Arizona Association of Manufactured Home Owners. Based on the locations that they had, we did this triangulation, and we identified that MapSwipe is again on higher ranking with 95%. It identified the mobile homes inventory, which is about 1,331 so far, while other data sources are, you could see the percentage of them compared to MapSwipe. And the results shows that these numbers shows the exclusive number of contribution of each of these data sources. Definitely, they have a lot of mobile homes in common, but each of them have kind of exclusive numbers. Again, MapSwipe is higher than them, but it shows that MapSwipe was not able to find 26 plus 42 numbers, but the number of contribution is still much more higher. These urban areas, which are, each of them is a region, and you can see the results based on the data sources that they provide. But this table, the interesting thing is this table is just that number that we get a kind of negative. If we wanted just to have a net change, it seems that it has an error of conversion. But let's see what is that discrepancy in practice. When looking to that discrepancy, there were two reasons for that. One of them was redundancy of other data sources. As you see here, this is an example that, for example, for one shapefile, you could see 2 points inside. It was a redundancy of those data sources. After deduction of these data, the total number reduced. And this sample shows inactive mobile homes that other data sources identified, but it was again good results because mobile home MapSwipe volunteers didn't identify because there was nothing there in practice. But those inactivity, what does it mean? Just in Maricopa County, about 6% of the population of mobile homes are displaced, are inactive, which means kind of eviction displacement anyway. But it means that this 6% is about 3,000 something households. On the other side, we have MapSwipe identified 1,597 missing households, which is still less than 50% of the original number. This could be a future study to see where are those people are going, those displaced people. But let's back to MapSwipe results and see how accurate was that. This slide shows the false positive and false negative results set. The yellow boundaries are the identified geometries by volunteers. The purple one shows the verified, that I verified as experienced mappers, where are exactly the mobile homes. And as you see, again, false positive result is much more higher than false negative, which are points which identified by other data sources, but didn't identify by MapSwipe. This one specifically, it's a good message for us because we were expecting this result, this error, and it's a kind of good type of error because we, in our tutorial, we let them know that we don't want to miss anyone. So even if you're not sure about whether there's a mobile home here or not, just swipe and just tap it to have them on map. And about saving time, another benefit of using MapSwipe, each of these squares show a mission, and the colored one are the identified and verified mobile homes. And if you compare those numbers, we could understand that MapSwipe helped in saving almost each mission is 0.1 of the status in which we don't use MapSwipe. It means that if we don't use MapSwipe, we have to put 10 times more time for each mission. That in total, it is about 700 hours instead of 70 hours that we already used. And just to have a result at a glance, we were successful to identify 1,330 total mobile home communities in Arizona, all the state, and 196 missing mobile homes, which means exclusive help of MapSwipe, which means 10,000 missing households in total. And this is just so far with half of project. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for that.